The Caspian Sea lay shrouded in a thick blanket of fog. The early morning sun, a pale disk in the sky, struggled to pierce the dense white veil. A stillness hung in the air, broken only by the gentle lapping of waves against the shore. It was a scene of serene beauty, yet an unsettling premonition lingered. The fog seemed to hold its breath, as if aware of the tragedy about to unfold. At the airport, a hive of activity bustled against the backdrop of the sleepy sea. The terminal was alive with the sounds of rolling suitcases, the chatter of excited travelers, and the occasional announcement over the PA system. The sea, visible through the large glass windows, seemed to whisper promises of new beginnings and adventures yet to come. Flight J2-8243, bound for Baku, was prepared for departure. The ground crew worked diligently, ensuring every detail was perfect. The airplane stood majestically at the gate, a vessel ready to carry its passengers to their destinations. The gate display flickered, showing the flight details, a beacon for those waiting to board. Passengers, each a universe of hopes and dreams, boarded the aircraft. Some walked with a spring in their step, eager for the journey ahead, while others moved more slowly, lost in their thoughts. The airplane aisle became a pathway of stories, each seat a chapter waiting to be written. Families, solo travelers, and friends found their places, settling in for the flight. A young couple embarking on their honeymoon, their faces flushed with excitement. They held hands tightly, their eyes sparkling with the promise of a new life together. Every glance they shared was filled with love and anticipation. Their laughter was infectious, spreading joy to those around them. A seasoned businessman, briefcase in hand, heading for an important meeting. His face was a mask of determination, his mind already on the negotiations ahead. He moved with purpose, every step calculated. In the lounge, he reviewed his notes, his laptop open, preparing for the challenges that awaited him. An elderly woman, clutching a worn photograph, traveling to visit her grandchildren. Her eyes, though tired, shone with the light of memories and the hope of creating new ones. She held the photograph close, a tangible connection to the family she was about to reunite with. Her journey was one of love and longing. Their lives, a tapestry of experiences, were about to intersect in the most tragic of ways. Each passenger carried their own story, their own dreams and fears. As the airplane prepared for takeoff, they were united in this shared moment, unaware of the fate that awaited them. The cabin was filled with a sense of anticipation, a collective breath held in the balance of what was to come.
High above the fog-laden Caspian, Flight J2-8243 soared into the sky. The steady hum of the engines provided a sense of normalcy, a lullaby that masked the impending horror. Inside the cockpit, Captain Alexei Petrov, a veteran pilot with years of experience, scanned the instrument panel. Suddenly, a red light flickered, a jarring anomaly in the sea of green. A sharp beep pierced the quiet hum, followed by an eerie silence. The instruments flickered erratically, then died completely.
Panic seized the cabin as the plane lurched violently. The once calm and serene atmosphere was now filled with screams and cries for help. Flight attendants tried to maintain order, but the chaos was overwhelming. The plane shook as if it were a leaf caught in a storm, and the passengers could do nothing but hold on and pray for their lives. Oxygen masks dropped from overhead, a grim reminder of the unfolding disaster. The yellow masks dangled in front of the passengers, a stark contrast to the darkening sky outside. People fumbled to put them on, their hands shaking with fear. The sound of the masks deploying was drowned out by the roar of the engines and the cries of the terrified passengers. Passengers gripped their armrests, their faces etched with fear and disbelief. Some whispered prayers, others clutched photos of loved ones, and a few just stared blankly ahead, unable to process the horror unfolding around them. The tension in the cabin was palpable, a collective fear that bound everyone together in that moment of crisis. The aircraft, no longer a vessel of dreams, plummeted towards the unforgiving waters below. The descent was rapid and uncontrolled, the ground rushing up to meet them with terrifying speed. The once majestic plane was now a helpless victim of gravity, its fate sealed by the relentless pull of the earth. The roar of the wind drowned out the screams, the blue sky replaced by a terrifying rush of white. Then, the deafening impact. The force of the crash was unimaginable, metal twisting and breaking as the plane hit the water. The once solid structure was now a crumpled mass of debris sinking slowly into the depths. Metal shrieked against water as the plane, broken and battered, disappeared beneath the waves. The ocean swallowed the wreckage, leaving only a trail of bubbles and debris on the surface. The silence that followed was eerie, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded.
Oh no! What's happening? The confusion and fear were evident in the voices of the passengers. They looked around, searching for answers, but there were none to be found. The reality of their situation was sinking in, and the panic was spreading like wildfire.
Hold on, just hold on! The desperate plea echoed through the cabin, a last-ditch effort to instill some hope in the hearts of the terrified passengers. They braced themselves for the impact, clinging to the faint hope that they might somehow survive the ordeal.
News of the crash spread like wildfire.
Rescue boats, their sirens wailing, raced across the choppy waters.
Helicopters buzzed overhead, their searchlights cutting through the dense fog.
Divers plunged into the icy depths, their hearts pounding with a mixture of hope and dread.
Every piece of floating debris, every ripple in the water fueled a desperate search for survivors. Amidst the wreckage and despair, a glimmer of hope emerged.
A young girl clinging to a piece of driftwood was pulled from the water, her eyes wide with terror but alive.
Then another survivor and another.
Each rescue ignited a spark of hope in the hearts of those waiting anxiously on shore.
But the whispers of survival were few and far between, each one a poignant reminder of the many lives lost. The world watched in horror as the true extent of the tragedy unfolded. Flags flew at half-mast, a symbol of shared grief. Candlelight vigils were held in cities across the globe, the flickering flames a testament to the fragility of life. The crash of Flight J2-8243 served as a stark reminder of the capricious nature of fate and the indiscriminate hand of tragedy. In the aftermath, the investigation began. Experts meticulously examined every piece of wreckage, every shred of evidence.
The black box, recovered from the depths, held the chilling final moments of the flight, the desperate struggle to regain control.
The families of the victims grappling with their grief demanded answers. Why did this happen? Could it have been prevented?
The search for answers was not just about closure, but about preventing such a tragedy from happening again.
Years have passed since the tragedy of Flight J2-8243. It was a day that began like any other, with the sun rising over the Caspian Sea, casting a golden hue over the tranquil waters. But as the day unfolded, it became one of the darkest in the region's history. The fog that shrouded the Caspian Sea that fateful morning has long since dissipated, but the memory lingers. The mist was thick, almost as if nature itself was mourning the impending loss. It was a scene of eerie calm before the storm, a deceptive tranquility that belied the tragedy about to unfold. A memorial stands near the crash site, a place of quiet reflection and remembrance. It is a solemn sanctuary where the echoes of the past meet the present, a place where the living come to honor those who perished. The memorial is not just a structure, it is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The names of the victims etched in stone serve as a permanent reminder of the human cost of this tragedy. Each name tells a story, a life interrupted, dreams unfulfilled. These names are more than just letters on a monument. They are the embodiment of love, loss, and the enduring impact of the tragedy on countless lives. Their stories, though tragically cut short, continued to inspire acts of kindness, compassion, and a shared commitment to safety and remembrance. The flowers left at the memorial are not just tributes, they are symbols of hope and resilience. Each act of remembrance is a pledge to never forget, to learn, and to strive for a safer future. The legacy of Flight J2-8243 lies not in the wreckage, but in the enduring power of love, loss, and the lessons learned from the depths of despair. It is a legacy that transcends the physical remnants of the crash, living on in the hearts and minds of those who remember. The lessons learned from this tragedy have led to improvements in safety protocols, ensuring that such a disaster never happens again. The love and loss experienced by the families have united communities, fostering a spirit of solidarity and mutual support. In the end, it is this legacy of love and loss that continues to inspire and guide us, reminding us of the fragility of life and the strength of the human spirit.